We are moving along to another trial, and he's going to stand trial before Pilate. Now, there's going to be a lot of information on this. Matthew 27:11 through 14, and John 18:28 through 38. The Jewish leaders tied Jesus up and took him to the Roman governor's palace, where they delivered him to Pilate. History shows that Pilate was a ruthless human being, unkind to Jews, hated the Jews. And Matthew condenses the full account, telling us only the second appearance of Jesus before Pilate. The first appearance is in Luke 23:1 through 6. So he's going to appear before Pilate twice. Hoping to avoid making a judgment about Jesus, Pilate sends him to Herod, the sub-ruler of Galilee. So we've got all of the rulers. Now, if you read Psalm 2, this is all recorded, this whole event. Of course, it's only 1,000 years before it happened. The Jews wanted to be able to eat Passover meal, so they stayed outside of the palace to avoid ceremonial uncleanness. They didn't want to get near the Gentiles. It was still early in the morning as Jesus stood before the governor, and Pilate came out and asked, "What charges are you bringing to this man? We wouldn't have brought him to you if he weren't a criminal." They replied, "He is disrupting our nation. He is against paying taxes to Caesar and claims to be the Christ, the king. Judge him by your own laws. We don't have the right to execute anyone." The Jews objected. This fulfilled Jesus' prophecy about how he would die. Pilate took Jesus inside the palace and asked, "Are you the king of the Jews?" When they brought him to Pilate, the Jewish leaders accused Jesus of promoting himself as king in defiance to Caesar and against the Roman Empire. Therefore, Pilate asked Jesus a very simple question. "Are you asking this on your own, or did you hear this from others?" "I am not a Jew, am I?" Pilate asked. "Your own people, the chief priests, brought you to me. What have you done? My kingdom is not of this world. If it were, my servants would have fought to prevent me from being arrested. My kingdom is from another place." "So you are a king then?" Pilate said. "You are correct. I am a king. The reason I was born and the reason I came into the world is to testify to the truth. Everyone who loves the truth listens to me." "What is truth?" People still ask us today. Pilate asked. Then they went back outside, and Pilate told the Jews, "I don't believe he's done anything wrong." Instead, Jesus gave Pilate simple replies. He gave to the high priest. This amazed Pilate. He asked, "Do you not hear how many things they're testifying against you?" Pilate couldn't believe that such a strong, dignified man had, as beaten and as bloody as he was, would stand silent for these accusations. Romans thought they knew about kingdoms and their might, that their armies, navies, and swords had measured the strength of the kingdom. What Jesus knew was his kingdom is not of this world, mightier than Rome, mightier than anything Rome could believe. There's a time to defend yourself and your cause, and there are times just not to. And when we rise up in our own defense, we usually are better off to keep silent and trust God to defend us. So the chief priests and the elders began to accuse Jesus again. "Don't you hear their accusations?" Pilate asked Jesus. "Aren't you going to say anything?" But Jesus didn't respond to a single charge. And Pilate was amazed. "He stirs everyone with his teaching from Galilee to Judea," the Jews continued, "and now he has come all the way here."